Hey guys, welcome to tonight's Team Level Up call. We have a huge treat tonight. Allyson McGuigan is going to guest speak all over the place for you guys tonight, and I'm so excited, and I need to brag about her for just a second. So Allyson is my coach, Ryan Berry's coach, and she is a freaking rock star. So it was just released that she is number 52 in all of Canada, all of our Canadian coaches, and in the entire network, she's number 387. And that is not an easy accomplishment. I'm sure Allyson's going to share with you guys some tips. And I just want you guys to know, like, first and foremost, this business is so much fun. So she probably didn't feel like she wanted to, like, quit coaching whenever she was on that climb. That's what's super special about coach life instead of corporate life. But it does take effort, and she's going to talk to you guys about what effort she has put in. She's also a diamond coach. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star, meaning she has hit Success Club 10 at least 12 months in a row. She's actually already hit it for May, so she's at 14 months in a row right now. And really, she's just incredible. I also want to share real quick that she's a team builder on Leadership Ladder. So that's a new-ish recognition program, but basically there are all sorts of levels. And as you can tell, because she's number 52 in Canada, Allyson's building a team, and some of her team is here. So it's so exciting, and I could go on forever about how great she is. I messaged with her earlier today, asking her for her accolades, and of course she was like, I don't know, I'm just me. And that's another thing that I love about this girl. She's super humble, and she's super brilliant. And with that, take it away, Miss Allyson.
Thank you, Ashley, for the kind words. I really appreciate that. And thank you, everybody, for being here to listen. I really appreciate you all taking the time out of your night. I know it's not always easy to get on live, but it is very much appreciated. So I'm just going to share my screen, and I did put together a PowerPoint, but super casual. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat box, and I will answer them afterwards. So here we go. Let me move this. So Ashley named the call Exploding Your Business, and she gave me some topics that she kind of wanted me to touch on. So I just wanted to start with where I started, how I got into this whole world of Beachbody, because I really feel like once you're in, you're kind of in. So how it all began. I grew up not very active, never had to worry about my weight, wasn't really anything I ever thought of. I was the girl who sat and watched the sports instead of actually played the sports. So I thought I hated exercise, but I never really gave it a chance. So I gained about 45 pounds in college, and it took, it really brought me down. I had low confidence. Like, I felt like so uncomfortable in my clothes, in my skin, and I didn't feel like me, because I always was a very confident and very outgoing person, and I found myself kind of shying away from social events and stuff like that. So then 2011 to 2014, I did the whole yo-yo diets. I counted my macros, my calories. I would work out like intensely for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I would totally just give it up. Like, the same stories like that you hear over and over again. But in 2014, something changed. I was invited by Ryan Berry, my coach and mentor, to join this 21-day group where we would, it was a 21-day fix that had just been released. We would post in this group every day. We had the chance to win a transformation prize, and we would eat right, and we would work out for 30 minutes a day. I said, sign me up, got my Shakeology, got my challenge pack, and I dove into that group. I posted every day, and it was my, I didn't even plan to kind of win the transformation prize. I just really started feeling good. I started getting results, and I was hooked. So after that first 21 days, I'm like, all right, I'm keep going. What's next? And over the next 2 years, I completed, I'm sorry, there's sirens out there if you can hear them. I completed 9 Beachbody programs in full, and some of them I repeated over and over again. And honestly, I just felt amazing, and I had already started a fitness Instagram page, and I followed a million coaches, and I always kind of toyed with the idea of coaching, but I was scared. And then something kind of changed. I made a decision. The launch of Hammer and Chisel was coming out in 2015. I was really excited. I was at my goal weight and I wanted to kind of like build some muscle. So what I did was I was preparing for that, but Ryan had asked me to come to Super Saturday. And at this time, this new supplements had just been released and I was like all over Energize and Recover. Like I was pumped. But like buying Shakeology and supplements every month, even with the discount, like I was a discount coach for 2 years, but it was still expensive, something I had to fit into my budget. And I thought, okay, maybe coaching like might be for me. But then I went to Super Saturday and I remember specifically a local coach talked about personal development. She brought her book up and she just explained like the impact personal development had had on her life. And I was really inspired and they shared different coaching success stories. And then at the end, they had this big, huge piece of paper. And what they wanted us to write down was 3 goals that we wanted to accomplish by the next Super Saturday. So if you don't know what that is, it is a quarterly event. So every 3 months, it's held locally. And I wrote down, this is a picture of what I wrote down. By April 3rd, I want to help one person get started, read 1 personal development book, and finish Hammer and Chisel in full. And by April 3rd, I had helped over 20 people. I had read 4 personal development books, and I had finished Hammer and Chisel. And so that was kind of the start to my coaching journey. This is something I kind of just threw in. I don't know what that is. Sorry. This is something I threw in because I didn't realize this until I was putting this presentation together. Live events are life. Like in your business, if you don't go to live events, like you are missing this huge piece of the puzzle. Because let's be honest, we sit behind our screen for our entire business. Sure, we have friends, like we all know each other. We voice memo each other, we hop on calls, but it's that person-to-person interaction. And realizing that these top coaches or these people that are successful, these diamond coaches, superstar diamond coaches, they're real people just like us. They sit in their living room too and run their businesses. So January, I went to the Super Saturday. I kickstarted my business and I hit Success Starters. April 2016 was when I went to the next Super Saturday, and in May I became an Emerald coach. That was something that was kind of covered at that Super Saturday. In July, I went to Summit, which honestly was probably the biggest moment where I realized like this was going to be my career. I was going to go far in this business. I am just like not that the top coaches aren't amazing, but they're real people just like me, and I can do it too. Like I just found this belief. That's my success partner, Jill, with me. And I could do a whole other call on success partners, and I actually did one recently. But it was just a really cool experience to get to meet the people that I was talking with every day online, and training and working out with the trainers, and I could talk forever. But that was the deciding moment. And then in August, I went to a Super Saturday and I had a one-on-one talk with Jake Story from corporate. And that was the moment where he encouraged me and he told me like, you are a leader, because I was hitting Success Club. I was Emerald. I had a couple of people on my team, Lindsay, who's on this call right now. And I just didn't feel like a leader. I didn't know how I was going to be able to lead a team. And he really kind of gave me some guidance. And in August, I became a diamond coach. And 2 of my coaches, including Lindsay, rank advanced to Emerald. And that was huge. So that's just kind of where the live events come into play. So what I did in the beginning, my daily priorities, which I do to this day, if I do nothing else, this is what I do. I do my workout and I drink my Shakeology. If it's a rest day, I don't work out. I follow the program that I'm doing. I'm always doing one program. Sure, there might be a week in between where I might kind of dabble in different workouts, but like I finish Insanity Max 30 tomorrow, and on Monday I'm starting 21 Day Fix Extreme, and after that I'm doing Shaun T Week. So I always kind of am doing a program and I always kind of know what I'm doing next. And those were already my habits when I started coaching, but now they were non-negotiable. Now this was part of my business, and in order to be the best coach possible, I have to do those things. And like, what better accountability is it? So those are non-negotiable. Personal development. I break my personal development into two kinds, and I do both every single day, because I feel often that people, and I've done it myself, back and forth, where I'll focus more on trainings and less on personally like developing my mind and who I am, and I'll kind of flip-flop that. But now I do at least 10 minutes of each every single day. So for the business, listening to team calls, YouTube videos from coaches, like they're endless, national wake-up calls, previous national wake-up calls, and then podcasts. MWF Motivation is my favorite audiobooks. 3 of my favorite books, Miracle Morning, You Are a Badass, and Compound Effect. They all changed my life in so many ways. And I listen to personal development literally all the time. When I wake up, sometimes while I work out, depending on the workout, when I'm in the shower, when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning, when I'm driving, all the time. If I go for a walk, I'll put in personal development. Social media, 3 to 5 times a day, non-negotiable. Since I decided to become a coach, I watched a social media tips video. Angie Belmar has it. It's one of her biggest videos, I think, on her YouTube page. And she said, you have to post every day. So guess what? I have not missed a single day of posting on social media since the day I heard that video. And that doesn't mean that I'm like on my game every single day, believe me. And I'm going to get into social media in a minute in a little bit more depth. But honestly, even if you just have a couple posts waiting just in case you have a bad day or you can't do it, it's a must, and I do it every single day. And then I make friends every day. So vital behavior inviting, I like to call it making friends and making connections. I start new conversations. I am not salesy. This is not me going and say, join my challenge group, join my team. This is, hey, how are you? What's the recipe for that dinner you made yesterday? And I do these things every single day. So a little bit more on social media. Again, I could do an entire call on this, so I'm just going to kind of touch on it a little bit. But choosing 5 topics that you want, that interest you, not just fitness and nutrition, because there's so many Beachbody coaches out there. You have to set yourself apart. So I'm big on positivity and motivation. Like, I love anything that just makes you think and makes you feel good about yourself. I love animals. I'm a veterinary technician full time. I am obsessed with my golden doodles, which don't even live with me. They live with my parents, but I kind of drop other things. But when you pick your 5 topics, make sure you're staying on track. But that gives you an idea of what you're going to post about 3 to 5 times a day. I like basically how my social media goes, especially my Instagram. I do my post-workout selfie. Sometimes I do a quote. All my quotes are in black and white, so there's kind of a theme. I post pictures of animals and pets, like at my work. I post my recipes and food, basically. But I also kind of drop other pieces of my life in there as well. I pre-plan a lot of posts on Instagram and Facebook. You can have posts ready. You click a button and they're posted. It's something that I didn't write in here, but I post at certain times of the day. So in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. I try to add value. So I try to think before I post something. Is this a nice photo? If I'm scrolling, is it bright? Is it colorful? Is it distinct? Like, would someone stop their scroll to look at this picture? Does it make them curious? Or is it just another picture of like a blob of food on your plate? Just keep scrolling. Ask yourself, who am I speaking to and why will they care? Like, are you just posting this just so you can say you did your workout? Or are you posting this because you want to inspire someone to work out today? And am I posting just to post? So yeah, you can post 3 to 5 times a day, but if it's just like randomly thrown out there without any thought, don't post it. Create engagement, ask for advice, opinions. Have you ever? People love that. Last night I found a new nut butter and I asked people, what's your favorite kind of nut butter? And there's like a million comments under. And then if I go and post after that, a call to action, it's going to get way more engagement because people have already been on my page. I'm no social media expert, but these are just a few little things I've noticed. And then people want to know more. Your whole life isn't working out and eating salads. When I started coaching, people would be like, don't you work out for like 6 hours a day? And I'm like, no. And then it made me kind of rethink, like I need to sprinkle more of my life in there. And I really utilize Instagram story. And I have a lot of people that follow me on Instagram story because I don't know about you, but I love reality TV. Like, I'm obsessed with it. And YouTube, like vlogs, I like seeing what people are doing in their lives. Like, I like being able to say, like, you know, oh, his favorite candy is this. Like, it's not like anything important, but it's just knowing little things about people. They need to know you. They need to know you, like you, and trust you. You can repurpose content. I put the same posts on Facebook as Instagram. I can use the same text and use a different photo, however you kind of want to do that. You can also use the same post over again. And then stop comparing. If you're spending an hour a day looking at a top coach's social media, like, you're wasting your time. And if you're like looking at what they're posting and trying to recreate it, like, I've done that before and gotten in those habits, and then I kind of reel it back and I say, okay, actually, I am more creative when I'm not looking at what other people are doing. Like, honestly, I will still catch myself scrolling. I just wasted a half an hour that I could have been talking to new people. I could have been helping my team, like, whatever. I just wasted time worrying about someone else's business. Their clientele are probably going to be very different than my clientele. Ashley wanted me to talk a little bit about how I balance everything. I'm busy. I'm a full-time veterinary technician. Well, actually, this is pretty exciting. All winter, I worked about 9 to 10 hours a day. It was draining. I barely had any breaks. It was a rough time for me, actually. And I have been able to cut my work hours back to 7 hours a day because of coaching. So I am off at 3 now. And I am really taking it very seriously to use those extra hours in my day for my business, because this is something that I am going to do full time. So I need to utilize those hours. I get up early. This has been the biggest thing. If you have not read Miracle Morning, seriously read it, like, right now. I'm reading it for the second time. And I've also read Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, which is also amazing. So I started getting up an hour earlier, and when I get up, I literally take my planner and I write out, like, I don't open my Instagram, I don't open my Facebook. If I do, I get totally off track, not my email. I open my planner, I see what I have going on for the day, and I figure out what do I need to do today, and then I like highlight what needs to be done before I go to bed. I will not go to bed until this gets done today, whether it's certain follow-up messages, whether it's posting a call to action, whatever it is. And vital behaviors first. So if I have time after that, I add to my network, I respond to important emails, and then I would go into my challenge group. I get my workout done every morning before work. I squeeze, I don't know if this is in the way. I squeeze Beachbody into pockets of my day. As I said, I don't really get many breaks at work, but on my lunch break, I have a half an hour lunch break. I spend at least 10 to 15 minutes of that responding to messages. I post on social media, take pictures of my lunch, whatever. After I get home from work, that now is a chunk, but while I was working these 10-hour days, I'd get home before dinner. While I was cooking dinner, I would get a little bit of work done, and then after dinner. So it's not like I'm sitting down for 3 hours a day, but I'm just kind of categorizing little chunks in my day. Some days I might only put an hour into my business, and some days I put a lot of hours into my business. It's my passion. I enjoy it. And, you know, you get in what you put out, or you get out what you put in. So if this is just your hobby, sure, an hour a day, and you can really like crunch it. But if you think that you can build, you know, this huge business in like a half an hour a day, or just by putting a couple posts up, unfortunately, that's not really how it works. If it is, let me know. And then prioritizing my family time. So there's certain nights of the week where my boyfriend, he works 13-hour days, which sucks for him, but then there's one day a week that he has off through the week. So those days where he works, I work my business from the second I get home till the second he's home from work. And then the days when he's off, I take a chunk of my evening and I don't work. I don't open my phone. I don't open my messages, and I spend quality time, because it's a really easy way to kind of, you know, it can put dampers on certain relationships. But there are going to be sacrifices. So make sure that the prioritization you're doing is important. So hanging out, quality time with your partner or with your parents or your best friend is okay. But going to like this potluck or this baby shower, I didn't go to a baby shower last year. It wasn't someone I really knew. I had things I wanted to do, messages I wanted to respond to, and I felt really terrible. But in the end, that was what was best for me and what was best for my business. So if you want to live the life, like if you want to have this extraordinary life later and have more time, you have to put the work in at the beginning of your business. That is something that I realized. Plan, always know what's next. As I mentioned, what program am I doing next? I always know what my Success Club goal is for the current month. And as again, like it's evolved over time. So just make sure that you're not setting the bar too low. I just told my team, double your goal. So if you want to hit Success Club 5, like if Success Club 5 is your no matter what, set it at 10, because if you fail by half, you're still winning. You still hit that goal. That was your no matter what goal, but aim for the stars. Seriously, like you will surprise yourself when you stop putting limitations. A couple of months, I remember I just set my goal at Success Club 5 in the beginning and Success Club 10. And that last day of the month, like I'm struggling, like I'm stressed. And so I've really figured out a way now to make sure that I hit Success Club 10 minimum by the 10th. And, you know, it just, I could get into planning how I plan out my whole month in a whole other call, but basically I set my month. I know when my next bootcamp starts, when I'm advertising, and I set those dates so that I can hit my goals. And when you have a plan, when it's on paper and things come up, life happens, you are way more likely to accomplish them if it's in writing, if it's in your planner. If you just say, oh, I think my next bootcamp starts here and I might do a call to action like next week. What day are you doing it and what day does it start? And again, Success Club is my priority. This is how I measure my business. And I know all you ever hear about on calls and in trainings is Success Club. That's because it is important. It is the number one thing. That means you're helping people. If I don't help 3 to 5 people a month, I personally feel like I am not doing my job. I'm not being the coach that I know that I can be. And my goal is to change lives. My kind of mission statement, if you want to call it, for my business and my life is to selflessly add value to the lives of others. I actually say that for Miracle Morning. And honestly, I say that to myself over and over again. I have a solution that works. I have a solution that's affordable. I have a solution that I have used every single day of my life for over 3 years. And I have helped tons and tons of people get results and change their lives with. Like, what if I don't ask people? What if I don't share this with people? It's a no-brainer. Also, on that note, when we were buying DVDs, I bought 9 programs. That's like over $1,000, and now you can get it for $186 with Shakeology. I'm sorry, it's just crazy. Challenge groups. So I love my challenge groups. I call them virtual boot camps. I recently switched over to the app. It is amazing. If you're not using it, you need to utilize it. Beachbody gave us this amazing tool, and I fought it for a long time. And now that I'm using it, it's amazing, and my clients love it. But my goal is to create the best experience possible to get people results. I've had great boot camps and I've had not so great boot camps. And the great boot camps are the ones where I set expectations. I tell people what I expect from them. I tell them they need to participate. The people that participate get the very best results. And if you don't go all in with this, if you don't go all in, then chances of you succeeding are, slim. I'll kind of get into it on the next page, but my best coaches were from my challenge groups. They were the people that got results. They were the people that were in that group every single day. I provide incentives in my boot camps. I do a transformation prize, so I do boot camp at least once a month. I do a transformation prize. It's not just based on physical appearance. I get them to do a write-up at the end, and I get them to tell me what posts they liked the best, what they liked best about the boot camp, what they think, what they would like to see if they did another boot camp. how they feel mentally and physically afterwards. And the write-ups I get make me cry. I'm not even joking. So I give a transformation prize of $25 gift card to anywhere they want. I see that payback in my business tenfold. And I also do a challenge within the challenge to boost engagement. So I do a challenge week. There's a different challenge every single day. And I also get, they get points for drinking their Shakeology, doing their workout, and different things like that. I always check into my boot camps 2 to 3 times per day, and I engage. If someone's posting, if someone's telling me how their day went, I need to be in there and I need to be chatting with them. If they ask a question, I need to respond. Now, I don't spend all my time in my boot camp. I specifically check on it a couple times a day. I pre-plan all of my posts. And I am the best challenger that I can be in my groups. I've noticed that the people that my groups where I'm participating, I'm posting my Shakeology, my workout, how my day went at the end of the day. We do daily check-ins. I'm in the trenches with them, and challenge groups or boot camps where I haven't been as engaged, I notice there's less engagement. And it's the feedback I've gotten at the end. People really like that I'm in the group doing it with them. You know, I'm not a dictator. I'm with them on the same level, and I do that with my team as well. And I provide ongoing support. I have a VIP group that everyone goes into after their initial boot camp. Team Uplift. I love my team. We just came up with this name as a group last week, and the name took a long time to come, but you know, it just clicked. So we are super excited. And as I said, most of my coaches are previous challengers. So that's why I put so much into my boot camps, because I really feel like the people that have the experience, the people that have gone through the boot camp, the people that have had the transformation and that live and breathe the programs and the Shakeology already. You don't need to sell them on it. You don't need to sell someone on becoming a coach. They want to share it. They want other people to feel how they feel. They want to have this fun community that they can create for themselves. In our team, positivity only, no Debbie Downers. Like, obviously there's going to be hard times, but it's always putting a positive swing on the end of it. We value resourcefulness, so going out there and kind of finding the tools necessary. And I feel like my team is really, really, really good at this, because I wasn't good at this in the beginning, and my team can come to me at any time for absolutely anything, but I used Ryan as a resource. And then I listened to a call or a training that said, like, you need to be resourceful. So I started going on YouTube. I started going on Google. The things I've learned from YouTube are insane. So we have fun. We're doing a competition right now. So challenge within the challenge is like super successful in my boot camp. So I was doing my workout the other day and I came up with this challenge for the team. So we are every day posting, if we did our Shakeology, if we did our workout, how many people, like if we added 5 people to the network, if we started 5 new conversations, and if we post a photo of an invite, we get different points. So at the end of the month, someone is going to win a prize, and we're having so much fun with it. We're sharing, and personal development. So we're sharing what personal development we did every day. So we support each other, we work together. We're doing Shanti Week, a giant boot camp. So we help each other find answers. We ask questions, and we're all in it together, and we have big goals together. So that's just a little bit of me bragging about how awesome my coaches are. And then for the last 18 months, I guess, maybe 16 months, is just to put your head down and get to work. The most successful months I've ever had is literally the days where I'm grinding, the days where I'm just messaging people, getting people in my boot camps, getting people started. Those are the most successful days. That's how you hit success. That's how you move forward. It's not all this fancy stuff. It's not this fancy picture you put up. It's talking to people, getting people started, and getting people results. Put your head down and just do it. Stop thinking about it and do it. Stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, other coaches, other people. Just putting the blinders on, putting your posts up. Just let the squirrels just be as they are and just focus on you. And when you listen to trainings and team calls, implement it ASAP. I don't know how many times I've listened to a call, I've written ideas down, and I've never used them. But some of the very best things I've ever done is when I've actually taken a call, I've written it down, and I literally turn the call off and I go and implement it. That's where I feel like I have moved my business forward the most. So that is what I have for everybody, and I hope that you got a little bit of something out of it. If you have any questions, please post them. I can't see anything, but.
Oh, it was amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, let me take my headphones out.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Let me stop sharing.
You're fine. I have literally 3 pages of notes, 3.5, and I have a million quotables. I think I'm just going to like make posts and just like make them quoted by you, because that was so awesome. And one thing I want to point out before we take questions is that literally every topic that you shared on, you shared your goal related to that, and you shared that you know where you're going. And I think that it's so easy to get caught up in like whatever as coaches. I mean, there's so many distractions, and you shared obviously a huge one is looking at what everyone else is doing. And I loved your tip on that. In fact, you said 2 things about that. You said if you're spending an hour a day looking at what top coaches are posting, you're wasting your time. And I so agree. And no matter, I mean, I've been a coach for more than 6 years, and I still fall down that rabbit hole too. So if you're guilty of that, don't feel bad about yourself. Just change it, okay? And then, oh, did we lose her? She's still there. Oh, she's still here. And then also in that regard, you shared, I'm more creative when I'm not looking. And I'm like, oh, yes. Like when I have those blinders on, I'm so much more creative too. And just thank you for like saying that out loud in the way that you said it and tying everything into goals, because again, it's so easy not to. And just remembering that like none of us are exempt from having goals. Like the top coaches, my coach Janelle Summers is the top earner in the business. Angie's number 4 in the company. Like so many people, you're number 52 in Canada. And the same thing that everybody must be doing to have those accolades and that achievement and to help in a massive way is have goals to do it. Because otherwise you could just go to work and then you just go to bed. And if it's not in your face, those goals that you have related to all those aspects, then they don't happen. So thank you for how you articulated it. And I could go through my notes and share so many quotes, but no one needs to hear me blab. Let's hear, Ryan, do you want to talk since she's your girl?
Yeah, so absolutely on point. I took stuff away from that, and I think it's absolutely amazing. And I think it's funny how, it's not even funny, it's amazing how humble you are, because like you and I both looked at the top Canada sheet, and I think it was like 3 days later when you messaged me with a circle on it, like, what? Like we didn't even fathom that it was there. Like I obviously know how awesome you are, but it wasn't even on the radar to even look for it, because you're just your head down working, doing what you got to do. And it's absolutely awesome. And that's what you got to do, right? Like, and that's why when you look at Angie, when she was on her way to being a top coach, which she was on the cruise 2 years ago or whatever with all the top 10 coaches. And she said all the top 10 coaches spent most of the day in their rooms working on the cruise. So that's what she did. She just put her head down. It didn't matter how big you get. You just keep your head down and you just keep going as if every day's zero. And that's how you get where you're at. So it's awesome. So proud, so impressed. You're such a rock star. You're killing it. I'm just excited. It's just super awesome.
If you guys want, you can unmute if you have questions. Oh, Allyson, go ahead. Sorry.
I just said thank you guys. That's sweet.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for speaking. It's truly incredible. And please, I can see everybody that's on. So if you want to talk, just raise your hand or mute, because Allyson's here to answer some questions. And I know we said it'd be about 30 minutes. I think I posted that somewhere, but she really is on this team for so many reasons, including the fact that she's a talker too. So she will answer questions. And one more quote that I just glanced down and saw. You said that you'll surprise yourself when you stop putting limitations. And I'm like, if you didn't write that down, you guys, please write that down, because you'll start to understand how you limit yourself. And I know I have, and I limit myself in so many ways. And I love the story about how she wasn't even expecting to be in that top 100 of Canada list. And that is so humble, but it's so awesome that like, she didn't have to do anything crazy. Her natural activities took her there, and she stopped limiting herself. So I hope that gives you guys like not a little, but a huge feeling that you can do exactly that too. Because Allyson will be the first to tell you she's just her, and I'll be the first to tell you she's incredible, but you can do the same stuff. And she gave you literally a guideline for how to get started. And she's totally going to be back on the 3 or 4 topics that I also wrote down that she can share on, that she said she could do a whole team call on. So anybody, anything? They're blown away. I love it. Okay, well, I'll throw it back to you, Allyson, and then after that, we can everybody can get to work, right? Do the things that you learned tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.